Now, hello everybody, I'm Tim from Construqt and I'm really excited to tell something more about our startup. Let's first take a look around you. Yeah, probably you won't have this view because this is at the moment where I'm sitting. I see a wall made out of concrete, bricks, foam insulation, and I see a wooden and aluminium frame. All these materials are used to provide you with a great working and living experience. But all these construction materials are highly polluting. 40% of all energy-related CO2 emissions come from the construction sector. And society is demanding for more sustainable construction. The use of sustainable construction materials and products can lower these emissions a lot. A construction project starts with an architect, an engineer who designs a building with different types of materials. At the moment, there's no overview of sustainable construction materials. This is why the search for sustainable construction materials currently looks like this. Just a simple Google search. The search, comparison, and ordering process for one single sustainable material can take up to 60 hours for a large project, and that's a huge amount of costs. But we, as Construqt, are changing that. All they need to do now is to go on our website and to send their first material request. With the help of our smart algorithm, the perfect match for their specific needs will be found. This saves them a lot of time. At the moment, the matching takes place about a week and it will speed up with every request we have processed. Eventually, materials can also be bought by us. So how does our business model look like? Architects and engineers can subscribe to our matchmaking service. Therefore, they pay a monthly fee of 100 euros, like you would pay for a Spotify subscription. This is a recurring revenue for us. The best purchase prices are communicated from the beginning on. When the purchase is made, material manufacturers pay a commission fee of 5% to us on average. At the moment, we operate in the Netherlands, and multiple studies have shown that the demand for sustainable construction will continue to rise. And the Netherlands is one of the leaders in this field. Our focus lies on large projects with a budget for sustainability. Next year, in the Netherlands alone, architects and engineers will be looking for sustainable materials worth 3 billion euros. Through Construqt, that money will be spent on materials that actually meet their high sustainability standards. So looking at the competition, we are the only ones who offer personalized suggestions and a direct and easy purchase. Those factors are crucial because most architects and engineers are not familiar with sustainable alternatives. And way too much time is spent to compare prices. Yeah, I'm not doing this all alone. We have the whole Construqt team. We have met during an EIT climate gig summer school 2 years ago. We're an international team with a background in material science, software development, and some of us have the entrepreneurial mindset in their family for ages. So taking a look at our timeline, the last months we have joined several projects and events to expand our network. We were a finalist of a COVID-19 competition in the Netherlands and even acquired our first customers. We're planning to join a European project on sustainable housing materials and increasing our customer base. And we are excited to take our scalable solution further in the coming months. But yeah, apart from our amazing product, why would we be EIT Digital Alumni Startup of the Year? We are a cross-kick EIT startup with alumni from EIT Digital, but also EIT InnoEnergy and Climate Kick. We believe that a cross-kick collaboration is needed to achieve great results. With only computer scientists, we believe that you're not able to change the world. We would like to inspire EIT students and alumni from different kicks to collaborate more with each other on startup ideas and to start to have impact. If you're interested in what we're doing, feel free to reach out to me, and we are always looking for people who would like to make a change. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thanks a lot for sticking to the time as well.
Should I keep sharing the screen or?
As you want. If you have more things to show, then you can. Otherwise, feel free to stop sharing.
Okay.
time for some questions. I see there's some in the chat from the jury. There's one from Karin to begin with, so maybe you want to start.
I had to unmute, sorry for that.
No problem.
Yeah, Tim, in the beginning, thank you for the presentation, by the way. In the beginning, you mentioned that the material search for architects takes up to 60 hours. In there, you find your business model, because if you do it faster. How much time will you save the architects?
Yeah, basically, at the moment, we have the thing that within a week we have the right materials, because we're starting at the moment. So within a week we come up with suggestions. So basically, we also save them time and yeah, employee costs. Basically, that's also what we're doing.
Okay.
But we're like automating the process. So we work with a whole database, and also we do the searches with ourselves. We've made a specific Google scraper in a way that we know how to target which materials, and that's sort of our internal tool. And yeah, and we're sort of working, improving it step by step.
Very good. Karin, I see you had a second question. Do you want to ask this one as well or not?
Yeah, when architects want to buy sustainable products via you, they need to fill in a form. They cannot search for these products themselves. So you make them depend on you. How does that work? That was the question. You already mentioned a little bit that you have this Google scraper. Or is that what technology is behind that?
Yeah,
how does it work?
Yeah, so basically, architects and engineers, they make a request to us. They get in contact with us. So at the moment, we would like to really automate this process, but at the moment they just make a request, and then we look in our database, and also with our scraping tool, we sort of try to find materials, and we provide architects and engineers with material suggestions in a way. And then they can come back to us, and they say like, hey, wow, we like these materials. We'd like to use these materials for the project. And then we contact the manufacturers and provide, make the deal basically for them.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. I see there's also a couple of questions from Otti there. Go ahead and ask those if you like.
Yeah, so how do you plan to get more users to your platform?
Yeah, that's good. Like, to me, one thing to make clear, like, we're not really a platform. We're really sort of a service where people can sort of make a request to our service. And the thing what we're really not doing, in the beginning, the construction sector works a lot with collaborations. So we're also now joining a European project, Strong House project, and it's a project with different architects, constructors, and engineers in it. And therefore, we also make connections. And most of the time in this field, it works also mouth-to-mouth marketing. So if you deliver a great product, then other people would also like to use your product. So that's at the moment the strategy what we're using.
Yeah. Why don't you make it possible for the architects to search on your platform or whatever, and then even make the purchases through your platform directly? So why don't you automate all this and take, transaction fees or whatever on the way?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's our also goal. That's what we want to do. But like at the moment, a platform or like a service can also be done without fully digitizing. So we have already a part of it digitized, but yeah, our future goal, like for Amazon, also was not there in one day. So we're slowly building it up and automating it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I see there's some more questions from the jury, so let's go on with a question from Mike.
Yeah, why did you decide to sort of charge both sides of the market, both the architects and the suppliers?
Because at the moment, like what we see is like for both sides, we also provide benefits. Like there are 2 pain points on both sides. Like the architects, they would like to find these materials, and on the other hand, also if we help, there are a lot of, for example, in the Netherlands, where we have a lot of contacts with insulation companies. There are a lot of innovative types of installations, and most of the time, these companies. They are not promoted that well. So we also provide them with sort of a promotion tool that we say like, hey, look at these materials, maybe this could be interesting. So, and at the moment it works in a way for us. So yeah, if we can have both, why would we change that?
Very good. I see one more question from the jury, so let's do that one before you wrap up with a question from the audience. Philip?
Yeah, I'm missing something here. It seems to me that I could do what you're doing just sitting here with Google and finding stuff. I don't really get what the value add is. If it's taking me a week, I fill a form in, say, find me a sustainable brick, and it takes you a week to email back to me. I could just find that. If I'm an architect and I'm any good, I'd be interested. I don't see what you're doing that's clever here. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like the main thing what we're doing is we're automating this whole process. So we basically, because we're also starting off, like we have at the moment done a few projects, and we're really automating this process. So we are building up our database and also our scraper, and therefore we provide a solution. So at the moment, we also like doing this in a sort of manual way, but also trying to automate the system in itself. So that's what we're doing.
So right now you're doing it. It sounds like it's totally manual, and you're figuring out what to build. Or have you? If you've
no, we built a whole internal system. Like we have a sort of a platform in a way where we can if you have.
Is it called Google?
Yeah, the thing, if you Google it, you don't find the specific materials, and we have made a whole overview with that, and also a comparison. So we on local materials, we make local materials, reusability, the recyclability of materials, and there we have made a whole comparison of all these materials in our internal database. So that's sort of our innovativeness.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the question, Philip. We have a last question from our voice from the audience, Jose Carlos, before we wrap up this marathon of pitches. Jose Carlos.
Yes, so one final question regarding the certification of a product. So do you also include this in the matching criteria?
With certification, like all the products which we are sort of promoting are certified, like for fire, if there's a problem with fire, that's all in the materials. And we're basically not looking at that because like otherwise the product cannot be sold. All the manufacturers which we provide are like certified in that way. But we are mainly focusing on like sustainability criteria. So we have local materials, and like there we have our whole sets of criteria, and then an architect or engineer can decide where they give the preference for.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Tim, for the presentation and for answering the questions, for coming in this night to present.